So Invincible Season 3 just got finished wrapping up about a week ago, and me personally, I think that the season was iffy at points, but overall really good for the last couple of episodes. It didn't like peter out with a bunch of like bullshit. It kind of got to the point and gave us what we've been looking forward to in a spectacular way. I pretty much knew the animation issues and maybe budgetary restrictions for certain characters and IPs to show up wasn't there really, maybe because of the action-packed and really cinematic last couple of episodes they were gonna shove in there, seeing as though they were like pivotal moments in the story that was being told and has been being told throughout the story, which is basically Mark versus Cecil and the question of morality. Is it better for Invincible to keep the idealistic, superhero persona alive, or is it better for him to kind of just deal with things in a more centrist way, like whether or not to kill criminals or rehabilitate them to work for you, such in the cases Darkwing or Darkwing 2 as I should say, and D.A. Sinclair, the guy who's responsible for the reanimin who almost killed Mark and his best friend, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen season 1, you should have if you're watching a video on season 3, but also almost killed Rick, who is Mark's best friend's boyfriend. I can't remember the kid's name, but all that aside, and my opinions aside, IGN, basically the kid that always wants to be cool and hip and doing the funny thing, even though nobody's laughing with them, they're laughing at them, has decided to post another trash ass review. So I thought it'd be funny to go through how they thought the last episode, which got a 10 out of 10 on IMDb and every other thing imaginable, is not only terrible but the worst in the series and not even worth the consideration of a 10. So without further ado, this is let me start that over. This is IGN's review on
Leave me alone!
Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let's look at some of these IGN review statements from someone who I don't think has ever even seen an episode of Invincible, let alone picked up a comic by Robert Kirkman or anybody else for that matter. But let's continue. So the season finale centered around the villain or the Viltrumite Conquest, who's been agonizingly teased for almost a season and a half now as the strongest, most deadliest Viltrumite out there. And this guy thinks that he's just some rando that popped up at the last second to give Mark some more trauma. And I'm not 100% sure if he's noticed, but if you pay attention, Conquest has been in the other seasons too. This is only his first time actually having speaking lines and being like a main antagonist, but he has been in there. So he's talking about 40 minutes of it not being agonized over or something like that, when it's stupid because he's already been agonized over for an entire season and a half damn near. I mean, that's why Mark has been getting stronger to fight this Viltrumite that is going to be stronger than any other Viltrumite he's come across yet, except Thrag. Spoiler for comics. And then this guy's just fucking petty. I mean, he's talking about how the violence is all sanded down and shit, and how you get to see Sinclair working on the invincible reanimin at the end, but it doesn't matter because it's for later seasons. He does it with other shit, but that's just the example I bring up because it's just very weird. Why does that matter? I mean, like, there were more pressing issues at hand if you wanted to talk about the season. And you picked, like, the first great episode of Invincible, like, spectacular episode of Invincible, to just start nitpicking at shit so you can get clickbait, like, views. It's very weird and strange. Very strange behavior. Or like this, where he's talking about how Eve's death was basically pointless and everything surrounding it was stupid because she only died for a couple of minutes and came back magically, as if that wasn't an ability she's had since the beginning of her entire superhero career. I mean, if this guy actually did watch the Adam Eve special or read the comics or anything like that, or did like a slither more bit of research, he would have realized that, yeah, Eve has always had the ability to revive herself from the grave. But as she stated in the episode, she can only do it once she's in like serious, serious, deadly situations. She can't do it all the time. It's not in her capability. She has mental limiters on her brain to stop her from fucking with organic matter and shit. So, if she can't unlock her mental limiters all the time, then yeah, a lot of other times she gets in comas and shit because she can only affect, non living matter. It's very simple, and it goes to show that some people just should not be talking about things that they don't understand. This guy is clearly not a comic book fan, he clearly doesn't like Invincible, and he clearly doesn't give a fuck about what's going on in the show. He saw that it was like on a hype train because it was like a great episode, and he probably was just thinking to himself, fuck, White Lotus didn't get a 10 out of 10 this season. Shit. I hate these fucking cartoons. You know how those people are where they just hate like animation and shit. I feel like this guy is that, and I just don't understand why he would be so petty towards the episode and overall the idea of it, calling Conquest just like a one note sad sack of shit, like he didn't hear one of the greatest speeches Jeffrey Dean Morgan has given since Watchmen.
I'm so lonely.
What? What?
I haven't felt a woman's touch in years.
Okay, what are you talking about? What is this? What the hell is this?
I can make you my girlfriend.
I mean, come on, bro. Like, you're trying too hard to be different, and that's okay to a certain extent. But not everybody is special. I know your parents tell you when you're a kid that you can, like, do anything you want. You can accomplish anything you want. That's not true. You cannot accomplish half of the things you like. I mean, IGN has been putting out shit and shit and shit for almost like what, 2 decades now. Remember their Doom 2016 gameplay, early gameplay leak reveal and shit? That looked like somebody who had never touched a controller before. Like, I swear to God, they give every Call of Duty like a 7. Like, oh, it's just good. Every year, it's just good. And then they'll give like genuinely good games like fucking like 2 out of 10s just because it was too hard for them, or they don't know what they're talking about because the person that they pay to play the video games has actually never touched the video games before, and they're only here for a paycheck. That's barely like 20 cents on the dollar. I don't know if that's good or not, but it sounds bad, so I'm gonna use it. But yeah, this is just what happens when you keep letting people and industries and shit like this just inside of the bubble. You know, we gotta start gatekeeping certain shit because this guy should not be allowed to write for IGN ever again. His performance with this review is shoddy at best, a sinister mark at worst. And I thought that the last episode was amazing. I thought that was really good. I like the parts that they added in. I was kind of hesitant about Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I don't know, his voice sounded a little weird. I don't know, when he first popped up, it just didn't give off the tone. But he redeemed himself. You know, he wasn't irredeemable, but he wasn't invincible because he got his fucking head smashed in, and it was awesome. And Adam Eve showing his conquest was so cool too. I love the entire thing. I like that Mark just said fuck it, bash the dude's brains in, just killing him, just destroying his retinas. It was amazing, and I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, that's my whole thing on the last episode. You want my review for the season? Get better animation, and please start showing the fucking shit that Mark does cool, and get some goddamn money for half of these IPs. I should have saw Spawn in that last fucking episode before, and I didn't. I was pissed the fuck off because I finally thought that once Spawn was shown again, we get some fucking Spawn hype, and then we get another Spawn TV show, but that's never gonna happen. I'm just giving up on it. So whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much my review. And the last episode was amazing. Never listen to IGN about anything. And if you're still looking at IGN for any sort of like credible statement, please stop. You're sick in the head. Okay, you're just as sick as them because they're not. This is a clear example of it. And yeah, fuck IGN. But yeah, thanks guys, and sorry about the late uploads and everything. Gonna try and be better about it, but it just shit happens. So appreciate everybody that watched the video. To anybody that didn't watch the video, tune in. I'm gonna start streaming stuff too. So see you. Thanks.